big client or key supplier, a reliable outsourcer or faithful partner. If any of these people come to you with an important project, vital to them or vital to you, in need of some specific expertise or in need of immediate collaboration, asking, "Are you on Microsoft Teams?" What would you say? Would you tell them no?
Ooh.
Why even think about that? Especially when we've already got you covered with 20 over-the-shoulder step-by-step tutorial videos, walking through the process of quickly setting up Teams and using its most powerful features in 55 minutes. Here's what we'll cover: the basic interface, the mobile connection, getting the team connected, segmenting with channels, channel archiving, the Office platform and document sharing, key settings, and using web content. We've cut out all the fluff from the course because Teams is only powerful when it's in use, and it can even be used when there are no paid subscriptions to Microsoft, which makes collaboration with anyone, anywhere doable. But without the basics shared in this course, you could easily spend hours or even days, like the time we spent putting it together, trying to figure it all out and never getting around to using it. Look, this is easy. Get our video course, get up and running quickly, and then get the entire team connected. The 20 videos are step-by-step and easy to understand. They can easily be passed on to employees, teams, and outsourcers, or used right out of the box. Hello and welcome. You're now looking at the search page for Microsoft Teams, and you can choose one of the links available to you in order to get to the Microsoft Teams landing page. And once you click the link, you're going to be taken to a Microsoft page that will take you to Teams. Once you click the link, you'll be at the landing page. What you're then going to do is you'll either sign up for free with an email address or your existing Microsoft email address. We're going to sign in and we're going to enter our email. We're then going to click Next. Once we do that, we're going to decide how we're going to use Teams. In most cases, you're going to check off that you're going to be using it for work. Once you do that, you will then click Next. Now, you may already have an account according to Microsoft. What you can do is click Next, or you can click Create Another Account. You're typically going to have to verify your email address for Microsoft. They're going to give you a code to verify. What you're going to do is enter that code, and then you're going to click Next. You'll then enter identifying information for yourself and for your company. You'll then click Set Up Teams. That's going to take some time on the Microsoft system. And once you do that, you'll then have Teams available to you on your screen. And Microsoft's going to give you the option of using the desktop app or the web app. Now, for the sake of this course, we are going to use the web app for most of the course. Now, when you click, you decide that you're going to use the web app instead. That's going to take you inside of the Microsoft Teams dashboard online. Once you're inside of the dashboard, you're going to have access to all of the tools available to you to start using Microsoft Teams. So in the next video, what we're going to do is we're going to start exploring the use of Microsoft Teams to chat, collaborate, as well as broadcast to individuals with your content. Welcome back. Now, once you are inside of Microsoft Teams, you're going to see your interface. And for example, you'll see that you have an activity feed. And this is where all of your interactions will be with all of those that you are collaborating with inside of your team. You'll also have a chat area. And this is where you will conduct private messaging as well as open calls with individuals within your team. You'll have your Teams app. And this is where you will be able to work within a specific team. You'll be able to post content to your team. You'll also be able to have specific group documents for specific teams, and you'll be able to keep them all in one area for that specific team. And obviously, you can have more than one team where you're going to have posts, files, and wikis. You'll also have a call area. And this is where you'll keep track of any calls that you are making as well as have made. You'll have all of the contacts where you make calls. you'll have your call history, and you'll also have voicemail capability. When you are sharing documents with individuals, you'll be able to work with them in the Files area, and you'll see it here in this specific area. And if you work with third-party applications, you'll see them here in this area. What you'll notice here is if you go to this link that says More Apps, you'll see all of the apps available that you can attach to your Microsoft Teams account. You can also access the Apps panel through this area at the bottom left-hand corner. Microsoft will encourage you to download and use the desktop application, which you can use from this left-hand corner. Welcome back. There is also a Microsoft Teams application available for both the iOS system as well as the Android system. And so what you'll need to do is to go to the App Store of your chosen device. Once you have it, what you'll need to do is you'll need to sign in with your account in the same mode that you're using for your online account. And you will be asked if you want to enable notifications. You can choose to allow them or disallow them. You'll then want to make sure that you allow Microsoft Teams to access the microphone on your mobile device. Once you've done that, you can then click Next. You'll then click Next again, and then you'll click the final onboarding screen. And then, just as you can in your online account, you can begin to invite other people to your Teams account. What we're going to do for the sake of this video is we're going to click Not Now. And what you'll notice now is that we are inside of our Teams account. And we have all of the same tabs. We have an Activity tab, we have a Chat tab, we have our Teams tab, we have our Calls tab, and we have our Apps tab. Once you have it, you are then ready to begin using Microsoft Teams on your mobile device. Welcome back. Now, in order to begin collaborating with individuals in Teams, you're going to want to begin forming your team. And so what you're going to do is you're going to go to your Teams tab. What you're then going to do is you're going to click this Invite People. What you're first going to want to do is you're going to want to create a specific team. Perhaps you'll be creating this team for a specific purpose. To do that, you're going to go to this link within Teams, and you're then going to click Create Team. You can build this new team from scratch, or you can create one from an existing Microsoft Office 365 group. We're going to, for the sake of this video, build a new team from scratch. Now, this is an important aspect of the process. We can make it so that the team is going to be private. That means then that people will need permission in order to join the team. We can make the team public so that anyone within our organization or who is connected to us can then join the team without having permission. And then we can make it so that anyone who is part of our organization will automatically be part of our team. Now, what we're going to do in this video is we're going to create a private team. We're then going to give the team a name. Once we have a team name and description, we can then click Create. Now, once we do that, Microsoft will then begin to ask us to add individuals to the actual group. What you can do at this point is you can click Skip. That's going to bring you into the page. What you can then do is click this button that says Invite People. What you can do then is you can invite specific contacts to your team. Or you can copy the link and give that to individuals. Or you can send a specific invite by email. What we're going to do right now is we're going to click Copy Link. Now that link is copied to the clipboard. And so what we're going to do is we're going to distribute that link to the individuals that we want to become part of our team. When that individual puts that link into their browser, they're going to see a dialog that looks like this. What they're then going to do is they're going to write in their name, email address in order to become part of our team on Microsoft Teams. What they're then going to do is send a request. Now, that individual can download the application to their hard drive, or they can go to their email box in order to join the online account. Now, once that individual sends their request, you'll then need to approve their request. that's when they're going to get the email in their box. And once the individual has accepted your invitation, they'll then be part of your team. They'll then have the interface available to them here in this area. You then want to see that team member. You'll go to your Teams area. You'll then go to this gear that says Manage Team. You'll then see yourself as the owner. And then you'll see another individual as the member, and that'll be the individual that you have added to your team. Welcome back. Now that you have a team, what you can do in order to organize different ways of being able to collaborate, you can set channels within your team. So you'll see that within your team tab, you're going to have a team menu. And what you can do here is you can create a channel. And to do that, what you're going to do is click Add Channel. You're then going to give your channel a name. And what you can do is you can set a specific level of privacy for that team. And you'll see here that by default, everyone is going to be able to access this particular channel. What you can do is you can make it so that only a certain individual will have access to this particular channel within your team. When you do that, you'll notice that one of the options go away. If we go back to the standard privacy level, you'll see then that we can automatically show this channel in everyone's channel list who is part of our team. And so what we're going to do is we're going to click Add. And what we now have is a channel within our team. So what you'll see here is that you have a general channel and you have a specific channel. And what you'll see here is when the other individuals that are part of the team become a member, they'll also have the other channel available to them. Once they are inside of a particular channel, they have some options in order to begin collaboration. One thing that they can do is start a conversation. So for example, they can start typing in a specific message. And then that message will then be available within the channel, within the team. And then you'll also see the message from that individual within your channel, within the team. Now there are plenty of activities that you can do within the specific channel in terms of starting a conversation. What you'll notice here is that you have control over the text. What you'll see here, so if we click this button, you'll have the ability then to format the text. And with the WYSIWYG editor, all you'll need to do is to highlight the text that you want to work with. You'll then choose the element, and then you'll see it as part of your post. You'll then be able to click the send button. You'll see then that this will appear differently inside of the channel based on what you typed in. That same thing will appear instantly to the rest of the team inside of the channel. What you can also do within the channel is you can upload specific files. For example, so the individual can start another conversation, and when they type in, what they can do is they can include or attach a specific file. So by doing that, all they'll need to do is to click this paperclip. They'll then be able to either grab a specific document or a specific file from one of the teams. They can grab it from OneDrive, or they can also grab it from their computer. So in this case, we are going to grab a document from our computer. Now, once the document is part of the post, what that individual will need to do is they'll need to click this send button. They'll then send this. It'll then be part of the team archive. And what you'll notice then inside of your screen is the same thing will be visible. And you'll see it now inside of your screen. We're going to stop the video here, and we're going to pick it up from conversation elements within the channel and within the team. Welcome back. Now there are several ways to interact inside of your team, and you're going to see them at the bottom of your conversation area. You can use emoticons. So for example, one of the things you can do is you can click in an emoticon and you can insert it into your conversation. And when you hit enter, that part of your conversation will then be visible to the entire team. You can also share a GIF from Jiffy. And so you can search for a specific one. And once you do that, you can then click in. You can share it along with a phrase. Once you do that, you can either click the arrow or you can press enter. It will then be visible to the entire team. You can also share a sticker, and then the process is going to be the same. Once you find the one you want, you can then write in a caption. And once you've written it in, you can then click done. And then you can click enter, and your sticker will then be part of the conversation. You can also praise a specific person by clicking on the praise icon. You can then click on the badge that you want, and you can send that praise to a specific individual. When you do that, you can then write in a note. You can then preview it. You can then send it. That individual will then receive that praise on their screen. You may have noticed we skipped over the camera, and that's because the camera is for conducting a meeting. And we will do that inside of this channel, inside of this team in the next video. Welcome back. Now, one of the icons you'll see under the conversation within the channel at the very bottom is you'll see a camera icon. If you hover over that icon, it says Meet Now. We're now going to click that icon. What's going to happen then is Microsoft is going to ask to use your microphone as well as to use your camera. You're then going to click Allow. What you'll then be able to do is you'll then be able to add a subject for the meeting. Now, one of the things you'll notice is that for the sake of this video, the camera is being covered and actually grayed out. So that is why you cannot see anything in the background of the particular camera or webcam that is connected to Microsoft Teams or connected to your personal computer. That being said, what we're going to do is we're going to write a subject for the meeting. And once you do that, you'll be able to click this button and you'll be able to then meet with the other individuals inside the channel within your team. What you can do first, though, is you can click this button that says Camera. What you can also do is to turn your camera fully off. And you'll see that here, that we've clicked this button that turns the camera off, and that means then that you can begin your meeting without the camera and with audio only. So by clicking this button that says Meet Now, you'll then have control over your meeting, and you're going to notice some controls here at the bottom. You're going to notice your camera controls. You're going to notice your microphone control. You're going to notice that you have the ability to share your screen. You're also going to notice some additional actions. So for example, if we were to click this button, we can show the individual device settings that we're going to be using. We can also create meeting notes, as well as to operate within full screen. We can make it so that all incoming video is turned off, and in fact, this is going to be the default setting. If you want to have video showing into the Canvas area, what you can do is you can turn this on so that video can be shared by your other attendees. Now, the other individual will be able to join your meeting, and they're going to see this in the feed for the channel. And in order for them to join the meeting, what they're going to need to do is to click this button that says Join. Now, for the sake of this video, so that we can display what's going to happen with the other individuals on the team, we denied the use of our camera and microphone. However, the individual that would be on your meeting, they would need to enable the camera and microphone in order to participate in your meeting with both video and or their audio settings. Now, there are some other in-meeting controls. If you hover over the bottom bar, you can raise your hand during the meeting. You can also demonstrate that there is specific conversation just within the meeting. In other words, you have a meeting chat available. If you have participants that are on the call, now again, for the sake of this video, we have actually denied the individual to become part of the conversation, but you would be able to see those participants by clicking this link or icon. And to end the meeting, all we would do is click this button that says Hang Up. Welcome back. What you also have available to you within an individual channel is a channel wiki. You can find the wiki here on your top panel. If you click that link, this will open up into a page. And basically, this is a place where you and the team can document specific aspects of the collaboration. So for example, what we can do here is we can then title a specific page. And once we do that, we can title each section. Within each section goes the actual content. And what you have available to you when you're creating content is going to be a WYSIWYG editor that will allow you to input the content in a way that will make sense for the team. You can upload images to this area. And you can grab those images from your computer, from OneDrive, or from other teams. You can also create another section. So for example, we can write in a different section here. And of course, you can create content here in this area. Now, each of these creations has options available. So for example, we click this link. What we can do here is we can make this entire section a specific link. Also, if there is any conversation regarding this particular section, you'll be able to see it here in this area. So for example, let's assume that we wanted to look from the perspective of the other team member. That team member would go to the wiki section. They would then see the wikis available. What they'd then be able to do is they'd then be able to go to any conversation that was already available, or they could start a new conversation. And this is a way for a team to be able to document processes and to keep that documentation in one place within the team and within a channel. Now, for anyone that will be involved with the creation of the wiki, they'll be able to go back and search for any of the content inside of the wiki. And you'll see that whenever an individual will type in a phrase, they'll be able to locate that phrase inside of their team, inside of the search area. Welcome back. Now, there is a benefit of being able to use Microsoft Teams, and that is to use the various kinds of Microsoft platforms inside of Teams and to share and collaborate. And to do that, once you are inside of your team and you are inside of a specific channel, what you're going to do is you're going to go to this plus tab button or add a tab button. What you're going to notice is that you're going to have apps available to you that are basically the Microsoft platforms that you typically use when you use Microsoft Office. In this case, one of the things we can do is we can start by using Microsoft Word. Now, if you don't have a Microsoft Word account, you can use the Microsoft Online account in order to work within Teams. We are going to click on Microsoft Word. And one of the things you're going to notice is that if you attempt to place the tab and there are no Microsoft Word documents, you won't be able to complete the process. So in order to add in the Microsoft Word tab, you are going to need to have Microsoft Word documents already part of your channel conversation. So what we're going to do is we're going to come back to the posting area and we're going to add in our document to a conversation. And so we're going to come down to the conversation and we're going to attach a specific file. What we're going to do is we're going to upload this file from our computer. What we can do is we can then start a conversation about that document. We can then click upload to our conversation. Now what we can do is we can add in our tab. So we can come to the top. We can then click on Microsoft Word. What we can then do is we can add in our tab. And we're then going to have the tab point to this individual document. We're then going to click Save. And what you'll notice then is that document is then going to be part of your page. You will also have a menu available to you. And this menu will be from Microsoft Word. And what you can do is you can begin to make changes to the document with the controls in Microsoft Word. Welcome back. Now that Microsoft Word is part of our interface, what we can do is we can go to the posting timeline or the feed, can then click on top of the document. What you'll then see is we have the opportunity to make comments about specific areas of the document. So for example, let's assume then that what we're going to do is to highlight this word. We're then going to make a comment. We're then going to click on this new area and we're going to make a specific comment. And then we'll click submit to our comment. Our comment will then be part of the permanent record. And you'll notice here that we have written in 3 lines. You'll be able to see that this comment is really going to be associated with everything that you have here on this particular line within the document. Now let's now look at this document from the perspective of the other individual that is part of the team. So for example, if we were to open up this area and we were to go back to our particular area of our team. And what we would do then, once we got back to the area of our team, is we can go back to that document here in the feed and open it. Or we can go to our Microsoft tab. Once we get to that Microsoft tab, what we would do then is we would then choose the document. And we can find that document here in this menu. We then see our document available. The person, from their perspective, would then be able to go to the comment that was made, click on that comment, they'd be able to see the comment. And then that other individual would be able to reply to that individual comment. They'd be able to reply associated with that comment. And they'd then be able to click on the send button and then have a comment associated with the first comment that was made. So for the sake of perspective, we're going to shift back to the owner's account. And what you'll notice is that the conversation on that document is happening in real time. Welcome back. In this video, we are going to collaborate with a Microsoft Excel document. And so you should already have a Microsoft Excel document that you are working with that you can upload to the Teams interface. So what you're going to do is you're going to attach that document from this area. You're going to upload the document from your personal computer. Once your Excel document is inside of the conversation, you can click enter. That means then that others will be able to get access to the document. You can click on the document. That will open up an Excel interface. When you have worked with the document and you have changed some of the elements, what you can then do is to close the document, or you can begin making comments to the document. You'll then click enter. Your comments will then be part of the document and it'll be close to the area where your cursor was when you made the commentary. You can also have conversation about the document. When you click that conversation area, what you can begin to do is you can begin to type in text or make other notations to the document, including additional files, and then all of the same elements that you have here. And you'll see all of the information here as part of the record. You'll notice then that we are inside of our personal browser. However, if we were to look from the perspective of the other individual that was on the team, we'd be able to see that individual would have the same elements inside of their document. And so you'll see all of these elements inside of the conversation. That individual too can open up the Excel document. What you'll notice is that we can open up the comments area and we'll see the comments, or we can point to the comments inside of the individual document. We can open up the conversation. And the other individual will be able to see the conversation that has already begun, and they'll be able to see it within that Excel document. But just so that you'll note, if we were to go back to the Teams interface and we were to leave the Excel document, what we would see is we would then see the elements of the conversation. with attachment to conversation about the Excel document. Finally, what we can do here is we can add in our tab. We can then click Excel. We can call it an Excel document and we can point to Excel. We can then click Save. We'll then have a tab specific to Microsoft Excel inside of our team area. And you'll notice all of the elements of the interface. Hello and welcome. Now in this video, we are going to add Microsoft PowerPoint to the Teams workspace. And to do that, if you have Microsoft PowerPoint installed on your hard drive, all you'll need to do is to create a Microsoft PowerPoint document and then upload it to the Teams workspace. You can also add the online account as long as the profile that you're using is associated with a Microsoft 365 account. So what we're going to do here is we're going to come into our conversation area. We're then going to click the attach file and we're going to grab our Microsoft PowerPoint document from our hard drive. Now you will see your document uploading to the Teams workspace. And once you do that, what you'll need to do is you'll need to write in the message that you want the team in order to see. Then you'll need to click the send button that will upload the document and your message to the Teams workspace. Your other team member in their browser, they'll need to go to the posting section. They will then see the document and then they can start a conversation about that document by clicking reply and then writing in where the document is. And their reply will be associated with that document. And you will then be able to see their reply in real time. So now let's assume that what you want to do is you want to start some work on this PowerPoint document. What you would do is you would click on this PowerPoint document that will open up the document in the Teams workspace. You will then be able to use the PowerPoint menu from within the Teams workspace. So for example, in this case, we can insert a new slide and we can add content to the slide. We can make modifications to the slide. For example, we're going to align this title and we're going to write in content to the slide. What we're now going to do is we're going to click on the other browser, just as if we were the other identity, so that we can see what the other person will see in real time. And you'll see now that that person then still has the interface where they're looking at the actual post. If they were to open up this Microsoft PowerPoint document, they'll then see an interface come available to them, and you'll notice then that they'll see the changes that we've made in real time in their browser in their document. Now looking back at our browser, if we were to go back to the team workspace by clicking on this Teams icon, that's going to bring us back to our team workspace. What we can do is we can go to the Add tab. What we can then do is we can then add in a PowerPoint tab to our workspace. And we'll see it available here. We'll click on it. What we'll then need to do is we'll need to associate it with a specific document. And we'll see our document there. We'll click on top of that document. We'll then click Save. Now, of course, we can rename this tab to whatever you want it to be. Once we do that, we can then click Save. PowerPoint will then be part of our team menu, and all of the team members will be able to use that tab in order to access documents where we are collaborating inside of Microsoft PowerPoint. If we go to the Files area and we click on the Files menu, we're going to see our PowerPoint document available to us in this Files area. In the case of our teammate, and we're looking at this browser as if it were that other teammate, if they were to click on top of Teams, they could then click on the Files area. If they click on that Files area, they'll then see the PowerPoint document. They can also click on PPT or PowerPoint. And it's in this case that a mini menu will open and it will then be available to that individual for PowerPoint. Welcome back. We're going to look closer at Microsoft PowerPoint. And to do that, we're going to look in particular at working with it inside of the Chrome browser or our regular team member for the sake of this video. So we're going to come back here. We're then going to click on the PPT menu. That's going to open up our PowerPoint document. And then gradually, if you're working in the online platform, you're then going to see the menu. That menu is going to come in gradually and then be available to you. As you can see, it's moving from being grayed out to being available for you to work with. Now, once it's open, you're going to see icons and buttons available to you. In particular, you're going to see the Present button. You're also going to see the Comments button. The Comments button we've actually looked at in other videos. However, what we have not seen is the Present button. And so to do that, we're going to click on Present. And then what you'll notice is that the PowerPoint presentation is then in presentation mode, and you can then walk through the presentation. If you hover over at the bottom, you're going to see this menu available to you. If we click on that menu, you're going to then go back to the regular view of your PowerPoint document. What you also have available is slideshow mode. And what you can do is you can then present your document from the beginning. You can go back. You can also present from the current slide. And you'll see that here. You can go back. Now, when you are in this mode, just so that you'll know, your teammate who will be looking at your document from another browser, they will not be able to see the presentation in this mode. They'll be in whatever area of the platform where they are currently working. Now, they'll be able to see that you're working there. However, they will not see the presentation as you are presenting it from this vantage point or view. Screen sharing, according to Teams, only occurs when you are in a meeting. If you are not in a meeting, you will not be sharing information with the individuals that are viewing. Welcome back. And we are now inside of our Teams interface, and we are now inside of the Files tab. And you're going to see the different kinds of files available to us using the Microsoft document system. And what you're going to notice in the left-hand corner is an area where you can create a new document. And what we're going to do is we're going to create a new document on the OneNote platform. So we're going to click New, and then we're going to click OneNote Notebook. We're going to give that OneNote Notebook a name. We're then going to click Create. That's going to give us access to a Microsoft OneNote document that we can work with inside of Microsoft Teams. So to get started, what we're going to do is we're going to click Edit Notebook. What you're then going to see are all of the controls available for us to create content inside of the note. So what we're going to do here is we're going to click inside of here, and we're then going to create a new section. Once we do that, we're then going to click OK. That's going to give us a new section. We're going to give our new section a name. And then our content is available. What you're then going to see is you're then going to see the WYSIWYG editor available to you in order to create the content that you want to create inside of OneNote and inside of Teams. Now, once you've completed the work on the document, all you'll need to do is to click this Close button. That'll close it back to the Files area. Now, you do have some options if you have a specific kind of account. You can open this document in your browser. In that case, you would have the browser version of OneNote, or you can open it in the application if you have the desktop application. However, one of the things about Microsoft Teams is that you don't need to have that application in order to utilize it inside of Microsoft Teams. So this version of OneNote, and indeed all of the versions of Microsoft Office platforms, are all self-contained within Teams and usable. Welcome back. Now, one of the tools that you'll see across all of the platforms in terms of documents, as well as in the desktop edition, is going to be the dictation function. So for example, if we were to go into either Word or PowerPoint and to go into one of those documents while we were inside of Teams, you're going to see that document open up. And then what you're going to see, and you're going to see this in real time, is you're going to see the interface come available to you. What you'll then see is a microphone here, and that microphone is for dictation. So what we can do here is we can then change to a specific line. We can turn on the dictation, and then we can determine that the dictation will begin. And you can see the words there, period. When you're ready to turn off dictation, all you'll do is to click the microphone and the dictation will end. So basically, you're going to have this available inside of Microsoft Word. You'll also have the feature available inside of Microsoft PowerPoint. Now obviously, as the function is not as helpful inside of Microsoft Excel, you will not see it available. Now one element that you may want to use, the dictation function is going to be inside of OneNote if you choose to use it as a note-taking platform. And once you open up the OneNote document, you're going to see elements come available to you. Once you click the edit mode, you're then going to get access to other tools that you're going to be able to use in order to add content to the actual notebook. Now inside of Teams, what we're going to have to do is click Edit Notebook. We'll then see our tools. Now what you're going to see here is you're going to see this dictate icon, and we can use that inside of OneNote. Now the thing with using it inside of OneNote is that if we are taking notes, if we're trying to track what we're saying in a meeting, we can turn on that dictate in order to track the words that we are saying and to have those words come into the actual document while we are working. So the dictate command is going to be helpful again in Word, PowerPoint, OneNote. In this case, it's not going to help us necessarily with Microsoft Excel as it doesn't appear in our menu. Welcome back. Now if you're in the Files area, you'll again see the usability of the document platforms inside of Teams. If you go to the New area, you're going to see that you have the option of opening up a Word document, an Excel workbook, a PowerPoint presentation, a OneNote notebook, or Forms for Excel. When you open up a Word document, you can give that new Word document a new name. You can then create the document. You'll see the Microsoft Word WYSIWYG editor in front of you. You'll then be able to start writing in content. Now again, when you see any of the platforms open and you have created content, you'll notice here that you have on each of the documents in the options or someplace in the menu the ability to open up that document in your browser. And what you'll notice here is that we are in the Microsoft Word interface inside of our browser. Now this does assume that you have Microsoft Office 365 in some paid plan. Of course, what you can also do if you have the desktop version is you can download the document into that version onto your hard drive. And once you've completed your work in any of the document platforms on a specific document, you can then click the Close button. That's going to close you back to the File area inside of Teams. What you're then going to see is the name of your document inside of Microsoft Teams inside of your team. Now it's possible to share the document with other people as long as you can create a link. So for example, let's assume that what you wanted to do was you wanted to take the document you just created and you wanted to highlight it, and what you wanted to do is you wanted to share that document. What we can do here is we can click Copy Link. We then have a specific Microsoft Teams link. What we're going to do is we're going to click Copy, and then we're going to give that link to another individual. In this case, we're just going to open up that link inside of a browser where we have a different instance or installation of Microsoft Teams representing another member of our team. Let's assume here that we have an individual that is already connected to our team. We're going to open up a new tab on our browser, and what we're going to do is we're going to paste the link into the area, and we're going to hit enter. And in this case, we're going to click use the web app. Now, because we're already logged into our Teams account in this other browser, which represents another individual on our team, we'll be able to go directly to the document by having the link available. If we did not have an open account, Microsoft would ask us to set up a new account in order to view the document inside of Teams. Welcome back. Now, when you start working with any of the online platforms inside of Microsoft Office, you're going to have an account with Microsoft OneDrive available to you, even with a free account. And you're going to notice that you're going to have 5 free gigabytes of storage that you can use in OneDrive. And you can place any of your documents or artifacts inside of Microsoft OneDrive for cloud storage. And of course, Microsoft will always be encouraging you to increase that storage by working with a paid account. Now, you can work with the documents inside of Microsoft OneDrive and connect them to your Microsoft Teams account. And you're going to see these documents available inside of Microsoft OneDrive. What we're going to do is we're going to begin to pull some of these documents into our Teams account from this OneDrive. And we're going to do that from within the posting area. So for example, what we can do is we can then click on this attach button. And then you're going to notice that we can grab documents from OneDrive, from our computer, or from other teams and channels. We are going to grab a file from OneDrive. So we're going to click on OneDrive. And what's going to happen is Teams is going to look for the document. However, we will need a paid account in order to make this connection. And this is an important distinction to make, because when you look at the files within the Teams interface, you definitely have Microsoft Office documents. However, these are self-contained within the Teams interface. You will not be able to connect them with your Microsoft OneDrive unless you have a paid OneDrive account or a paid Microsoft Office 365 account. So in terms of storage, the only documents when you're using a free account that will be stored will be those that you created inside of Microsoft Teams. Welcome back. Now, each channel has specific settings which you can alter according to your needs. So if you click on the posting tab and you go all the way over to the right and you click on these 3 dots, you're going to see a menu. You're going to see a link that says Manage Channel. You want to click that link. If you're working with others, you can make it so that your channel is moderated. So you can turn on channel moderation. What you can do is you can assign other individuals to moderate and to have control over the channel. And we can click the link and add that individual here. It's also here that we can determine and control the other permissions from team members. So for example, we can allow members to manage and reply to channel messages or disallow it. We can allow bots to submit channel messages. We can allow connectors to submit channel messages. And we have control over all of these features here in the channel settings. We also have channel analytics available to us. And we can determine how engaged individuals are in working with the content inside of our team. And since this is broken down on the channel level, you'll have a good idea of who is working with the content and who isn't. What we can also do is we can link directly to the channel. So for example, if we go to this area and we click Get Link to Channel, we are then going to have this link available to us that we can copy and we can send to others, or we can place inside of a web browser. Now in this case, we're going to open a new tab in a private or incognito browser. We're going to paste the link and we're going to allow it to take us to this page. And when you click on this page, Microsoft Teams will direct you to the exact location where you should be based on the link that you've created to your channel. And so the individual that gets that link will be able to launch if they have the Teams app or get the free Teams app if they need it. And so all you'd have to do to invite someone to become part of your team is to grab the link and to send it to them and to allow them to join Microsoft Teams and access your team content. Welcome back. In this video, we're going to make some miscellaneous changes to the structure of our channel. And we can do that first by going to the post area. And you're going to notice then that the channel's name is going to be different than you've seen in other videos. We can make changes to the name of that channel simply by going to the channel settings area. And then we can click on edit this channel. When we do that, we're going to get an interface. And you're going to see where we can change the channel name. And we're going to change that channel name here. Once we do that, we can then click Save. Teams is going to go through a saving process, and typically this might take some time. Once the system goes through this iteration, you'll see that your channel name has changed. Now, another top-level change that you can make is you'll be able to see it by going into the Files area. And what you can do is you can make sure that your documents are properly synced between Microsoft OneDrive and Microsoft Teams. Now, one thing that you're going to want to note again is that you are going to need to have a paid account in order to complete this process. We're just going to click on the Sync button. And you're going to notice then that your browser wants to open up your Microsoft OneDrive, and again, this process will not complete without a paid account. Now, one final top-level change that we can make is that we can turn any of the documents into the tab. We're going to want to make sure that the document is named what we want to see in the tab. So what we're going to do first is we're going to take one of our documents. We're going to change the name of that document by renaming the document. And we're going to click on Rename. And we're going to change the name of the document. Teams is going to go through a saving process and rename the document. You'll see then that the document now reflects the new name that you have created. Now what we're going to do is we're going to click this link that says make this a tab. So we're going to click on this link, and then you're going to see the tab as it is. If you decide that you don't want this document to be a tab, what you can do is you can take your drop-down arrow, you can then remove the tab by confirming the move. Welcome back. Now, whether you're doing it in collaboration or you are doing it for a project within Teams, you will typically be working with specific websites. And when you do that, you can place that website on one of your tabs. And to do that, all you're going to do is to go to this Add a Tab area, and then you're going to click on the website Add a Tab. That's going to add that tab to your website. And all you're going to do here is you're going to place the URL and the name of the website that you want to be there. And just for reference, typically Microsoft Teams is going to require that the website that you are placing here does have a secure server or SSL license. Once you have it in place, you can then click Save. That tab will then be part of your Teams interface. And just as you did with other tabs, when you stop working with that individual tab, all you'll need to do here is to come down and to remove it, and it will be permanently removed. What you can also do is you can locate the settings. And if you want to change the website, all you need to do here is to write that website in. And your website will then be in place for you to work with inside of your team. In conclusion, we've now walked through the process of setting up Microsoft Teams. We've basically worked with a free account in order to work with the entire left side menu, including the activity feed, the chat feed, the Teams feed, calls feed and files feed. Once we set up two teams, we then worked with each element of the tab's menu. We worked with the posting area, where we could start conversations, attach files, create videos, and then send files into places where others can collaborate with us. We also looked at the Files tab. And the Files tab is where we can manage all of the information that we're going to have inside of Microsoft platforms with other individuals that we are working with. We found out that all of the documents within Microsoft Teams are self-contained versions of the platforms such as PowerPoint, Word, and Excel. And we set up for collaboration. By using a second browser, we were able to simulate another individual being part of our team so that we can determine how documents are worked with in real time between teammates. And we found that all of the documents that are available inside of the team are available to all teammates in real time. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you either in another video or in another course.